Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Drink with Meri and Mina. I'm really sorry. I've done 6 night shifts. I can't speak anymore.
We're in the same posak and same food, but this is part 2.
This is
recording
part 2.
on the same day because
why not? So last week, right? Last episode, we talked about the values and the cultural stuff that we would pass on. This time, we're gonna talk about what we will not pass on. And boy, the responses we got, it got heated.
It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
We're here for it. And not saying the last month I got is because the festivities are over now.
Yeah.
So we're just like
we can go back to being what do you call it? The raw and honest people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like we weren't in the first like the podcast earlier, to be honest.
Yep.
We tried our best to
stay positive.
Stay positive and buckle the seats
up. Darkness
darkness, my old friend.
Right.
Do you want to start this time?
Straight onto you. Oh, I don't mind. Right. Okay. First one. Not being able to enjoy your festivals because of period.
Oof. Period.
This is very much really annoying because as kids you were like, oh, you can't put tika on because you are on your period. You cannot go near the temple. You cannot go near Bhagan ko Than because you are on period. Making you feel like you have done something wrong, although it is something natural and then you can't help it.
Mm-hmm. And the guilt as well, okay? Like, part of me is like, I don't give a shit.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was so deeply conditioned to the fact of that whole period, my isolation going period. I just can't, okay? So I just say, mother period boy. And then you're just suddenly isolated from this whole festivities going on. You just sat there, everyone has tika on their forehead, you don't.
If you guys haven't listened to our podcast that we did a few episodes back, it's about period and how we're treated as impure people. You will hear Merisha and her sister's account of how they were like literally isolated in a room for the entire time they were bleeding. And obviously I didn't have to go through that as extreme as that, but when you're conditioned to believe that you cannot do certain things when you're on your period, you believe that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So even if nobody saw me going near the Bhaganko place, I would still be like, jump and be like, oh, like shit, I shouldn't have done. I'm so sorry. You become apologetic, right? Okay.
Yeah, and I could justify the fact that their reasons is because we went through all that trauma, we are religious, but whatnot, but even my friends who didn't go through what I went through, women boy, but see, when you're on period, they're like, oh, mera period bachanta, can we go? Like, those things are just, just in the head, okay?
Like, period is inconvenient as F for us, we can't wear certain clothes, we can't do certain activities when we're period, even if we're on a holiday. When we book a holiday, we pray that our period doesn't come. You don't need to make it religiously degrading
and obvious as well. So the peanut allergy, there used to be a cartoon Kim Possible when she had period, she felt however we feel in ke and it was got a peanut allergy, so might as well just do that. Like everyone could take a might as well just stick a pea in your head and walk around.
Yeah.
So everyone will literally know, that screams to your face that you've got period.
But I am quite curious. I would really want to know why we're excluded from celebrating things because we're period.
Yeah, I've tried and it's just says,
failed.
The answers are always been Toli I got Tolan, Your impure hunsanta tebero. And the nicest thing someone said is you need rest. And then another nicest thing is Timo body but a toxin skin santa get out of skin. Like that was a consolation fucking prize.
So, like a courtesy explanation, like, okay, just to make you feel better.
Exactly. So that made me feel even shit, to be fair. So Boruti, I'd rather take the I got an answer, but I couldn't take it back, could I?
Just blind beliefs, okay? Blind beliefs. Like, where's the line between being blindly religious and being in a cult then?
Yeah, it's literally the period is literally like saying the sky is blue. No one questions why the sky was blue. No one questioned if that was green. Everyone believed it was blue. There, it's literally
no one questions whether the color blue is blue.
Yeah, but they just believed it was blue because some sort of man said it was blue and reflection from the river or whatnot. So we believe that. So you're something. Is this the same?
Sorry about our dry jokes, but it's quite
I know. It's the same. So, your kids like say peer on the heads of Bhagan pray on the they'll believe that. Let's do that.
Peer wearing. Oh no, let's not take it any further.
Awesome.
Right, you
go. Bhagan's watching. Oh yeah. So that's that, no? Housework is only for women.
Oof.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. From especially during festivals and when guests are in.
Mm-hmm. I know it because we feel it.
Lived it.
Been there. I mean, my mom, from amongst my friends, or even to the Amaru, like I'm extended cousins. We are the only house that has two women in the same sibling. Like what I'm saying, everyone has like son or only son or like So before in the past they were like, oh, you need to have a son, blah blah blah. But now everyone likes to have festivals at our house because we help and their sons don't. So it's like
caught you back. Karma.
That's not the point. The point is, it's just expected of us just because we're women. I'm little too but yes, I don't know, man. All the preparation that goes to it, from shopping to preparing foods to cleaning the house, because obviously a brown house should be impeccably clean. Or when I just it doesn't matter. But when Pauna is home, you're scrubbing from cleaning to everything. And then when the guests come, like Adar, but respect that, Linus Talma Poskine, and then you be like, oh, top no, yeah, you want some more. They'll on it, the canna one, the pizza down, that's disrespect. So and from that to like literally slavering, baramazing everything, we have to go through it.
And probably eat in the kitchen, not even eat with a guest.
I know. Pauna Pauna goes to Khanza, like not even in separately. Like when they go, doesn't matter you did even 12 o'clock in the night, that's when we're eating. Also and I'm thankful that our house is 3 women, 1 man house.
Yeah.
No bokomata, auntie or
honestly, Divoska house is just auntie and 3 men, right?
Just the opposite of ours, basically.
Yeah. And I think auntie is probably like a hyper independent when it comes to housework, no?
Yeah.
But I think one good thing that she's done is let the boys help her. Exactly. How many years is she gonna do it on her own? But still, when I go to that house during festivities, Diwas, if he's not asked to, he will not come to the kitchen to wash plates and everything. And that changed from this festival because I spoke to him about it and he started helping not only after the guests arrived but also right from the morning when we started preparing food and everything. We all did our fair share, and that meant auntie could enjoy when guests were there. She could enjoy instead of feeling tired. you know, or constantly worrying about pugecha, somebody's drink is empty, somebody's thing, like, you know, just everybody did their part, and that's quite glad. And I think houseworks, not only in festivals though, like in normal day-to-day life, right? Usually I think it's the woman who has to, basically home manager. You have to manage, even though men do housework, but they have to be given a guide. Okay, and saying, oh, this needs to be done, this, that, and I'm pretty sure food shopping is done. Let's not even go. So I am never sending Diwas food shopping. He will bring the whole supermarket go one aisle to home. He's not going there by choice. But yeah, you did it.
My dear mother, when dad could go walking about and everything, you know, she'd send him a grocery list. List ke ko layo.
So he needs a list, as if he cannot check for himself what's out of stock in house and make a list by himself.
That's fine. That's fine. Except go to
from the fucking root.
Except go to my sister is incapable too. So there's not gender discrimination China. So it's like no gender discrimination. Dude, that's fine. Goes to the supermarket, calls mom. Hey Maya, ke laune re? Fucking list. There's a whole fucking list. Goes to the supermarket, calls mom. Ke laune? What point of the list did you not understand? But I'm the Roxy to be his best friend, like my mama. They're BFFs. So there's always beer for him in the fridge. There's beer for his best friend. I know he doesn't even live in the house, bear in mind. But Gorma Chinese calls.
That's the basic difference between men and women when it comes to buying things. We buy for the family.
They buy
for themselves.
Because they never have. Or they actually think of buying torkari and they want to make some, like, so you know, sometimes they just want to cook how they want to cook. Fair enough, I know.
They want to experiment in the kitchen. They want to explore a new territory.
Fair enough, I know. Like my dad used to make like really nice pork curry when he used to eat pork. Like when we used to. But anyways, the fridge ma ke ingredients used गर्न छैन. He brings the whole lot of golbera, pyaz, everything. The dish entire ingredients down. But there's already half the ingredients in the house. That's the sign again. Like they just, it's a very
I'm sure there are exceptions, Anna. There are exceptions to this. We appreciate men like that, Anna. And changes are coming. Like young boys are starting to learn how to cook. Basic skills on the like cook, man. If you have mouth to eat, cook. You know, you have hands to cook.
Like my Bena, because Dada's house, we always have like big feast and dosai, whatever. You know? Bena, he's taken the account of making kosikomasu.
Yeah.
So even one dish made is a lot of help, you know. And one of my guys, when he bought a house, he just installed dishwasher because he was like, nobody's doing the dishes. Fair enough. Thank you so much. Makes life so much easier after the guests leave. I know, just stick it on.
Exactly.
I know. So,
but the main point is, do it before a woman has to ask you to do it.
It's all I know. Kidneys are I know. Kidneys are like, come on. Oh no.
Oh, we need to cut out all of these laughs, man.
No, let's move on. Whose turn is it? Is it my turn or your turn?
I think you did the housework well, Hannah. Okay. I think this is similar to the first one. 7 to 12. This is coming from a Newa, right? Please don't come at us by saying you are disrespecting my Newa. Yeah. 7 to 12 days gufa rakhne culture. Okay. I would say I know bare minimum about the gufa culture. I think you get it's like a coming of age ritual where you marry a bell, and that bell is probably your first husband. I know, but I don't know the reason behind it.
मलाई नि बेलसँग गुफा गर्ने राख्ने कल्चर चाहिँ I didn't really actually, I haven't questioned that yet, to be fair. But it is a very tragic time. It's basically like period when the lukeko jastै हुन्छ के, in darkness and whatnot, and then only women are allowed to come play. Crazy.
Yeah. So as a Newari, I mean, if you're a Newar and if you come from that culture and if you don't agree with Gufa and if you know the reason behind Gufa, please comment and let us know. Educate us about this.
अनि अर्को चाहिँ specifically बुढाको लागि भनेर मात्र व्रत बस्ने कल्चर.
Oh, Meri, I'm scared now. Meri going heated up.
We are coming here, and this was coming. बुढाको लागि व्रत बस्ने तीज festival that should be eliminated. You could have just said तीज, but thank you for actually specifying it. You could have eliminated it. अनि दाइको भाइको लागि बस्ने व्रत as well, that should be eliminated. So women को लागि चाहिँ व्रत चाहिँ किन छैन त? You telling me like we are equal, blah blah blah. Why not? Like why is it not there?
Because men are automatic protectors. What are you on about? They've done enough by being born with a penis.
But my point is,
I mean, we have to earn our way into the society by birtha bossing for our protectors.
Why should I birtha bossing when I birtha bossing for my dai, when I birtha bossing for my future fucking efforts on a future unknown husband, if I even have one, when they are literally downing liters of alcohol and smoking packets? What's it birtha boss? No. Is my birtha bossing gonna do anything to it? No. Make it make sense. Make it really make sense. And just don't say it's all I got all. No, this absolutely doesn't make sense. If हामीले बस्ने हो भने हामीलाई नि केटीको लागि व्रत बस्ने दिन चाहियो हैन, बहिनी टिका नि चाहियो.
My fiance, I'm thinking about my poor fiance. He has to fast for me for a day. I don't think he will survive. I think.
Thank you so much. And then अझ अर्को जस नपाउने कुरा is त्यही हो, त्यति भन्छु म अहिले. That's it for now.
Oh my god.
That is it for now.
Right, yeah, okay. Anyway, we don't understand that, no? So, अर्को wedding को बेला groom को खुट्टा धोको पानी पिउने culture.
Bride को नि धोएर खान्छ है, by the way.
Why?
खान मन लाएर. त्यो calluses. चिरञ्जीवी भव.
Listen, right? When you're having the wedding ceremony, you don't just come dhoko khutta lera, no? You come with, you've got your socks on, you've had that leg around for, the feet around for I don't know how many hours there.
Don't even.
Like mate. I am not. I've seen my mom drink my dad's water. That's dad's water, eh? The water that his feet were washed in once, and I found it disgusting, and I don't think she's ever done it again.
No, I've seen that. It's quite common. Like I've seen it multiple times in the 27 years of my aliveness in this earth, if that even makes sense. My grandma used to do it. Apparently, my mama did that on my mom's wedding day. He literally drank out of it.
Nobody told him.
Bro must have loved it. Salty feet. But and then groom are very notorious because Katie Sadko family I think. Because Katie didn't
the whole family?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Quote me on that, if that's right or wrong. But the groom side, they are notorious for not washing their feet because they are under you. But again, whole family mom, dad, brother, like my team are follow. Sisters don't come because I'm the bigger or
oh yeah, I mean advantages, but
the sisters, I don't think they do that. तर त्यो Mauli kholak huncha ni. So mama, kaka, everyone lays a groom ko ra bride ko pani khन्छ के. So I think it's just on the woman's side, I believe. केटाको साइडले खाएको चाहिँ देखेको छैन मैले. तर I haven't been केटाको साइडको wedding.
Why? Like why? Is it like a sign of respect, or is it like a sign of saying, proving that, you know, we are beneath you now, type ko? Because in our culture, they do consider the bride's side lower than the groom's side, don't they?
Yeah, janti jani बेलामा पनि janti हो भने that's just like, if you're the janti, you can ask whatever you want. The bride side has to deliver. I mean, we don't do that anymore. When Dai was married, we obviously were like, I'm the very independent people, so we just find our ways around it. But they were like, you know, Zanti, like, we'll do things. My dear brother was the only person in the entire Zanti saying, Hami to Zanti honi! And that is so out of his character, right? But he's just
that like, one moment of shine. One moment of shine that he wants to fully misuse.
And my boss looked at him.
Nobody's like, having it.
You piece of little shit. Don't do that. She was just so embarrassed. She was like, why is he acting like this? This is not him. But I think that was more of a joking way than
I can see Dee was misusing that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. I mean, he can try. That's all I'm saying. He can try.
Yeah,
he will get a list of what to do and what not to do before.
If he bothers to read the list, yeah, you might be like, Mina ke garnu huncha re ke nagarnu.
One stare. Enough.
Leash lagera.
Oh my god.
We're moving on.
Okay, the next one I would like to clarify is also coming from a Newar. Okay, we are not trying to disrespect it. Why is my word not coming out properly as a... We're not trying to disrespect Newari culture. Please don't cancel us. Mm-hmm. We're not cancelable yet. So, nope here. But go with the next one.
The whole Kumari culture, super against it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm too.
I think
unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
There is nothing to be proud of saying Nepal is the only living goddess. You are literally delivering trauma into kids. If you become Kumari, fair enough. There, amongst the plenty of disadvantages, you probably want that few advantage that you have. Like, you're the pride and joy of the nation for a while. You're like Raja Kolagi, like luck, whatever. You're
taken care of.
But what about the kids who didn't make it to Kumari? Mm-hmm. What about the kids who actually spent in rooms dark like that for so many hours without their parents? And they are really young, like 2 years, 3-year-old kids. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. This is the selection process, right? Selection process.
So they have to go through a lot of stuff, like dark room, skulls and everything, like blood, like literally anything you can think of that's gory, psychologically affect 18 plus everything to a child. Okay?
Also, to think that is just the start for the person who actually gets selected.
Yeah. So once you survive that, only prior to the listing, to even go to that phase, you shouldn't have any dagre. Gouts or nothing, no birthmarks. So you're just born, popped out of the vagina pure. And
let's not even go there. I mean, as a child, how many times do we fall down?
Exactly.
We're meant to have scars. As a child, if you haven't fallen, then what is your childhood like?
Exactly.
Like, so I don't want a protected child. And then when you actually become Kumari, your childhood, you're not a child anymore. Your childhood is robbed. All the experiences that a normal childhood should have and with psychologically grow along, that is not there. Sorry.
One.
Then when you retire, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to marry you. You don't have proper job prospects.
Yep.
You have to relearn. You basically have to be rehabilitated into the society as a human being. Mm-hmm. Like, how crazy does that sound?
My analogy of the entire Kumari process is domesticating a lion. So you domesticate a lion. I know. You domesticate a lion, take the lion out of the entire habitat and once the lion has served its purpose,
send it
you
back.
send it back to the field. The lion doesn't know how to hunt. The lion doesn't know how to associate with anyone, because everyone the lion has met during its time has been people dogne kutta, people respecting it, no expression of emotions. You can't cry, you can't sweat. If you cry, you sweat. Nation you've been carrying around everywhere because the only time you go out of the Kumari house is in Jatras. It's chaos. It is.
What's the difference between an abducted child who's been taken away and like being isolated from the society and a Kumari's a Kumari's psyche?
It's crazy. Have you met a Kumari before?
I have not.
Okay, I've in my lifetime met 2 Kumaris, which my mom never took me to. My dear aunt took me to those visits, and I'm quite thankful for it, because I wouldn't have this opinion without seeing what I saw. The 2 Kumaris that I saw, one of them was very young. Like,
she doesn't even understand what's happening.
Like, I'm telling you, my nephews are younger than that. Are older than her. Very young. So uncomfortable. She's like pinching her mom like this. She wants to get out on it. And then I couldn't think. I was like, what's the rude Kumari? Because obviously you're younger, you're meant to believe she's the god, she's fascinating, right? But now that I think of the psychology behind it, I'm like, shit, like she really wanted to just not be there.
Yeah.
She really just said, I need a day off.
Need a day off, but she just wanted to be a child.
Exactly. So so she's like, her brain is like, oh, my friend, right? But they are like allowed to do whatever, but she's not. Okay, make her.
I would go mad, man, if I had to live with so many restrictions around me. I would have to.
I mean, you're too young to make a choice, so that's like entirely parents' fault as well. So I would never want to give birth to a child to be that.
Honestly.
Anyways, it's very.
And then once you're a Kumari, you're always a Kumari, right? Yeah. Once you retire, you are still untouchable. You're still not marriageable or a marriage material. Let's not even go there. Like, it's a whole.
Okay.
Anyway, this is. Okay, Kutta Dogne, we've done it. Duli Bokne. What is that? Duli Bokne.
So I wrote this, I know.
Yeah.
King Teach. We said that. So that's me. Duli Bokne. So when you're married, your brother needs to carry you off to this vehicle that you're about to go on. Vehicle like you go around it. So your brother has to physically carry you again. Why? You know something? Like, I just don't get it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I feel like it's so unnecessary, you know.
I just had this thinking in my head. Maybe, back in the old days, you know how girls were forcefully married and they would be dragged into a vehicle? Maybe it came from that. They just wanted to make it polite.
Yeah, the sky is blue, because the sky is blue. But, like, realistically speaking, is that necessary now in this day and age? And my brothers, dear me, look at the size of me. So they're having to carry me around the vehicle for 3 times. They better start going to gym now. Even then, Sarah Padla, no?
It's almost like you being donated, right? Like, it's like you are an object that's being given.
No, the whole marriage is donation, Miralize. That's it is, Konya Dan means donation. Again, we're coming here, in circles, but I just don't like it. I just like, if you're like, boy, if you want to use the terminology, why can't you just hold your hand and send it off?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Give her a hug.
Yeah, open the car for her. Finish. Why are you crying? Like, okay, I thought you were forced. After boyfriend you chose the partner. Why are you crying? You're like, yay. Did you not want to do that?
Still good to go. Let's go, buddy.
Like what live vibes, isn't it? Doesn't make sense. But Duli Bokne analogy, I don't know why it's even done, but your reasoning sounds very reasonable.
Conspiracy theory.
Or is it my turn? Or is it your turn? Okay, this is like a massive rant, okay? So shall I just read the rant? The whole elders ko khutta dogne when you get married. I don't know, I saw it at my friend's wedding. As in, her husband's side came forward and she literally turn by turn was bowing down in front. At this point, the etiquette wasn't anyone. Khutta mate change.
Tell the groom side to just walk past.
And her husband's side came through, she literally bowed down, turn by turn. I don't know if it's a different culture or caste thing, but I would never. Fair enough, Burako mom, dad, which I still find weird, but whole relatives who not lined up. Oh my god. Mero chori ko chora doge ko something else. Khutta is literally something I never allowed.
Yes.
Thank you.
We will not allow it because it, I think, instills the sentiment that you're supposed to bow down and you're not equal. In essence.
Do you bow down? Do you celebrate Bhaitika?
Listen, right? My family, they've even discarded Dasai and Tihar. Like, your khutta dogne is something that I've never had to live. I would never live.
Ke tapai Nepali ho?
Mo Nepali ho.
But so Bhaitika ma chai our brothers will say I'm a khutta dogs, okay? So would you whatever?
Oh, actually, yeah. He's
whatever
done that.
We are considering this, like your khutta dogne and everything. So I guess khutta dogne comes. You can't just pick and choose khutta dogne, right? So how would you feel like Bhaitika ma khutta dogne? I love it. I personally love it because I'm just like, I've done all this for you, so you khutta dogne. It's only the sibling rivalry part, okay? But traditionally, I'd rather not have it. I know.
But the thing is, the way we do that is for fun, and also there's no
malicious
intentions. There is no just because we do that doesn't mean it's all behind the meaning of what you do.
I guess we don't say you're beneath me. It's
not because of that. It's only because we are trying to be like a little bit of those cheekiness.
Vibes, I love it. I always video it. Dosima I had to bow down for my sister because
Mesha Loki did a knee push up
because she gave me money, so I don't care.
For money she will do. Money khutta dog. Come.
Bring. But
dogo bogera. Paisa chai dogo ma hale.
But if there is no malicious intentions, siblings ko chai I don't know. I might be quite hypocritical. I might sound quite hypocritical. I'm against it, no. But you tihar the only person I allow is my brother. Really.
It's all like he's basically feeling the grunt of all the women that have been all the gender discrimination that we have received. That one khutta dogne is a little payback.
Payback. Oh. The orgo meaning behind it. It's just a sibling rivalry, from my end anyway. But the whole khutta dogne tradition of Tulaman Selai, and I can understand where this person is coming from. When you're the new bride, especially.
Yeah.
Dog bet karyakram. Do you not know that?
No, I know Dog Bet Park Karyakram, but I've never given much thought to it because really, like traditional weddings that I've never attended.
So, I did Dog Bet Karyakram. I think it's more modern. You just actually meet people like bet, garne, dog as in you probably do namaste, but traditionally Dog Bet Karyakram, so you literally dogging, betting. And I think that's what she saw.
Malai ta Roxy laune karyakram madar tha cha ke re.
Yeah, that's all we know. Let's get drunk and get lit.
Okay. Are our rants over?
Yeah, I think that must okay.
Okay. The next one, I think we've discussed this in the past, in the last episode as well, and then now as well. Age hierarchy about who is right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We do not believe in age hierarchy. Respect has to be earned. Regardless of your age.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're a very immature elder, then you will get the taste of your own medicine from the young generation, basically.
Whether you like it or not, we are serving it to you.
Oh, sorry. There's a second part to this age hierarchy about who is right. Talking back considered rude despite being right. Need critical skills. I think he means the older person needs
Critical
to take
skill.
positive feedback.
Bro, you're asking too much from our society. Timro yo prashna sodhna नै तिम्रो
ठुलो भुलो.
ठुलो बोलो खोट छ या.
Good luck.
And let us know how it goes.
I mean, we will definitely not take this forward. हाम्रो generation देखि चाहिँ, I think.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think we become hypocritical, don't we? Sometimes we're like, okay, you know, when my nephew and nieces do something and you're like, because I said so type go, it comes with all the conditioning of how we grew up, okay? Right? And it's so hard to unlearn it.
No, unlearning is the toughest process. Like, it's just so tough. I was gonna say something very risky, something very sensible and nice, but I
until Mina interrupted.
Yeah, I forgot.
I have such a bad, as I am doing it, I have such a bad habit of, when I want to say something, I have such a bad habit of interrupting somebody else's flow, which, like, okay, right, baby, you please.
Casteism, we've discussed that.
Yeah, definitely. To talk about casteism, from what I have heard and kind of done a little bit of researching, caste was invented because of jobs and professions, you know?
Yep.
You know? So when at one point did they decide to make it into a hierarchy or make it into a little diagram where it says these are the top ones, these are the bottom ones?
So, according to my knowledge, I know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it was in Rana Sashan or was it Prithvi Rana Sashan. I believe it was in Rana Sashan because that's where the whole massive economical change that happened in Nepal, you know?
Uh-huh.
So they were like Brahmins, Sudras, Kshetris and Vaishyas. So we are the Vaishyas, we are the Gurung, Magar, Rai, whatever community. We are the service people. Hence we went Laure. Hence we went, you know, everything that was protecting the country, whatever, bringing wealth in those sort of ways, we were there. Sudras being pots and pans makers, basically people who we need to suffice. Without them, हामी कस्तो बाँच्छ त ल अन्त?
Like the foundation of our society is dependent on them, or the foundation of our livelihood is dependent on them, and they are considered त्यो काम गर्ने कालो मकै खाने भालु हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो भएन?
It's the whole analogy, and only the Brahmins were allowed to be educated, only the Brahmins were allowed to be things, leaders, everything. So
this sounds like, one, power play, two, when, what do they call it, when they think they are the superior ones and they want to purify the society and make take their community forward, and it's all small.
And it absolutely makes sense why, and they Brahmins and everyone, they're all very based around Hindu religion and whatnot. So it makes sense for us as Vaishyas to not like them, because we were always under them. So it makes sense for us to just dissect and exclude the whole religion, because we associate with the Poilako we had. So it's basically slavery.
Basically we associate with the people that discriminated us, and probably just I've lost words.
It's just like, we don't know the exact reasons why neither. But generation downwards, we've been passed down. Like my parents, my dad and his friends still believe in NBC. No NBC.
What is that?
No one ever bound Chetri. Because
people be coming up with their own abbreviations.
BMW sunesa.
Black, white.
Black, Muslim, white. So
Black, Muslim, white.
So that's another thing. So, like, that's very popular.
So what race is left then? If Black, Muslim, white. So they've eliminated the whole race. Black, brown, and the whites. And who do I date? Only Nepal. It's almost like Gumera Phirera. In a roundabout way, it's saying only date your
caste. So, hence casteism, right? So, it's just... Okay, I don't have words to explain this ism. This ism is bigger than racism. Because racism is different race. This is within your zat.
Exactly.
So, unless your parents de-eradicate the casteism, there is no room for racism. So, every time, like I've said in my podcast before, in this podcast before,
I'm a guest today.
In this podcast before, like, until my dad accepts the fact that he's a casteist, he can't talk about racism on the table. Because, like we said, charity begins from home.
Exactly. If you're discriminating people that are closest to you, that look like you, that behave like you, that have similar culture to you, then another race is another thing.
Yeah, so you don't really have room for that.
This is 5K. The racism is a marathon. What?
Room is high.
Exactly.
Also, no wonder my lovely Gurung people. I'll probably get shaded over here. Gurung bitrani, there's like so many like branches. I didn't know until I came to the UK. So within that one, they discriminate. So they're like casteism bitrani. Branchism.
I don't know, but
I've run out of isms, basically.
All I'm saying is it sounds ridiculous.
Yep. No
Any
words.
kind of discrimination, I don't know for what reason. I don't think they can even justify this. It's not happening. We're not taking this forward. We are not taking this forward.
Not us. And if you are, please, like, be my guest, unfollow me. Gender-based treatment. We've discussed that before.
Yeah. There is no ending to that discussion. We will not even start. This podcast will be 3 hours long. Let's leave it at that.
And the whole reason why this podcast is here, one of the reasons is that.
Yeah.
Superstitions.
Oh. What do you think about superstitions?
I'm gonna make my child sulto flip the softball, dogging before you go, kalo biral and tu. I'm gonna do all that.
Just for fun.
Obviously not. Yeah, as a joke. Joke say yeah, maybe.
This reminds me of the memes. Like, they say I'll tell my kids Rajas Hamal is, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Just invent something for fun.
I think I probably would for banters, because that's just how I am as a person. Implement the gonu pareni. Yeah, I won't, but I will for jokes though.
I really, really want to tell my kids something like a minor lie, not something huge, that it breaks the trust, but something like, for example, I'm allergic to avocado. And then lie to them for years about it. Maybe a fruit that I never eat, and then years later, when they're 18, 19, then tell them that was like the longest prank that I've pulled on them.
Was it not Devas that was allergic to kiwi?
He basically thinks he's allergic to kiwi, but I have a strong feeling he is not, and he's only saying that to avoid eating kiwi, but I have fed him kiwi and he has not stopped breathing. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, so he's just... Hey, you pretentious guy.
He's precious. My fiance is so precious.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing, like, Santa is real, Just read the Maybe we should make up our own traditions, man. Like some random bullshit, ke?
Obviously.
Like, bhaitika ko agadiko dinma, you have to like pray to.
Where is this going?
Just make them believe. You know, the culture run the. They can ask or tinako sathila because they are not Nepalese. Or not?
This is some plan in place.
Use the casteism to your advantage. We are moggers, so we do this. You must have to ride on the garden.
Wow.
So toxic. This is going somewhere else.
We talk about childhood traumas and our kids will grow with something else. I will grow with some other trauma.
Podcast on 2.0, drink with Meri Mina. The traumas that my mother passed to me.
But superstitions, I think, to be honest, even if we don't pass our superstitions to them, I feel like superstition is not limited to culture neither or religious beliefs. So I feel like they will probably invent their own superstitions.
I mean, we do, like here, for example, the kids who grew up here, they're drainage and tinta.
Yeah.
They don't step on it because that's bad luck. So they're the Nepal mata thenanta, bro. Like, do you know, like things like that.
No.
So every culture has their own
exactly.
myths,
it's so weird, eh? Even like, Nadal, he has to put his cup facing a certain way. That's his version of superstition. Just something random that they will invent themselves. So superstition, I feel like it's gonna be around forever. So we can't really. But we'll not take up forward our stupid ones. But yeah, definitely. Okay. Right. Another one. Man, these people are so heated about these
pressed.
things. Oh, right. That your life is written already and it stops self-improvement and accountability.
Likha hai jo lakiron mein, milega wo takdeeron mein.
I love how she really the pretend is so real, I love how she puts the fake mic to her face.
You geet what it has.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I love how you put the fake mic to your face when you're singing, and then in the pause you put it down.
Karam apna.
Honestly, I think this is all about how in some Asian cultures, or most Asian cultures, and black cultures and brown cultures, I guess, parents have certain expectations of how you're gonna live your life, and they do control a fair amount of what you do and what you don't do, and all that. I mean, yeah, I think our parenting styles will probably be different, but also we can't say that yet because we haven't raised children yet, and we're now struggling to unlearn things, and we still do things unconsciously, subconsciously. Then who's gonna say that we might not do it when we raise our kids?
Yeah.
So yeah, time will tell.
Come back to us in 50 years time. The beauty standards and instead teach what really healthy is like.
Yeah. This is, I think, not only applicable to our society, but
Western
in
society,
general.
Yeah.
And I think what's healthy, what's not healthy. I hope it's getting quite difficult in the age of social media and insecurities, but also the good thing about social media is that people are actually openly talking about their insecurities, and they're dealing with mental health, they're dealing with unrealistic expectations, and what is shown out there is not really the real life.
And I just wanted to clarify on the beauty standards, Madze. Just because you go to the gym, just because you eat a calorie deficit doesn't necessarily mean your body's getting the nutrients you need. Just because you look a certain way doesn't mean you're healthy either. Like, there's this whole stigma of Nepal ma chai too luro bhayo bhane pani it's not luri bhanne, and like just because you're big, like motai bhanne ma, I mean, fair enough, like body positivity and all that, but that doesn't mean like you promote it. Okay? Healthy lifestyle. You can be big but still have a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because there's so much dynamics of like how your body breaks down food, your metabolism, and everything like that. But as long as you're eating healthy, and you do exercises that keep you healthy, who are you to say you are healthy and you're not? I know.
And to add to that, health is not only about physical though. Health is also about your mental. I think when we talk about health, the mental side, the emotional side is kind of takes a back seat because we're not so used to discussing it, talking about it.
Yeah.
But now we are, and I think being emotionally healthy and mentally healthy is also as important as being physically healthy.
And it kind of like correlates to each other as well.
Yeah.
So if you're mentally stable, you can actually do a lot of things that implements, and then you can go work out, do etc. But if you're not mentally stable, you just want to stay at home. Like,
I actually think mental health is more important because a good mind can nurture and a good mind can nurture your physical health back to healthy. Yeah. But even if you have a physically healthy body, if your mind is suffering, then your body gives up automatically.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's it. You said it very nicely. Yeah. Running out of words now, guys.
I think we've never recorded this long.
Yeah.
At this time, we just decided maybe let's become a bit more organized and record like 2 episodes in one go.
Maybe not. I'm running out of words.
I know. All right, this is from the same person. Okay, this person is really
on it. I love this person.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling-based knowledge. I will pass down factual information. Okay. I mean, feeling is important, but you should clarify that it's not factual. I always tell Diwash, don't speak things so confidently that the other person gets the impression that it's facts.
I mean, as a podcast, Hamro podcast is solely, but most of it is based on our opinions and
feelings. So not factual.
We give a disclaimer. I mean, we don't really give a disclaimer out often, but we always say what I feel is, what I think is. And it's never saying you're factual. Yeah. And when we have 50-50, we just say, correct me if I'm wrong. And we genuinely mean that.
Exactly.
And of fact, most of the Nepali things that we talk about, fact is hoina.
Yeah.
There's nothing to talking fact because everything's like he said, she said, who said.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And what we've lived.
Yeah, in terms of that, obviously, yes. But this person, whatever he's saying is...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ani, I think what I say to Divas, I'll say to everybody, don't do sasta boli. You know?
That's her favorite word, by the way.
Don't do sasta boli. Because if you keep saying things as if they were fact but turns out to be wrong, the value of your word decreases. So don't do cheap sasta boli. And literally translate don't do sasta boli.
That's my job.
Yeah.
Literal translation.
We've been together in this room for too long, Meri. Lemon's dad.
Lemon's dad. Okay. Casteism will educate on why it takes place, but still teach why it's wrong. I mean, we've discussed this
in length.
And thank you that you are on the same boat as us.
Yeah.
And that makes us very happy that our listeners are on the same boat as us, so we are on the same page. Well, that's literally the same word that I said. But it makes us happy that we're trying to make some change.
Lovely. You want to do the next?
Okay. Narrow career choice. We'll look into the chosen careers. Into the chosen careers with the children. Yeah.
I think हाम्रो society-ma, पहिला चाहिँ people would be like blatantly blunt about what you want your children to go into. And I'm not gonna lie, it comes from their suffering because they lacked that in their life. So they're kind of like vicariously living through you, whether that's profession, whether that's whatever. But these days, I think it's become a bit more covert. Okay? I think they give you the illusion of choice, but in the end, they will not respect you if you go into whatever they think is not respectable.
So you can be a CEO of whatever company. CEO, but they will analyze it. Director, they'll analyze it. But anything that you're not, regardless of you earning so much money more than the other person is, just because you have a title of a doctor, nurse, engineer, IT person, I think they still don't get much credit because they don't know it's a technology. Like, they haven't really processed that in their head. But if they knew what IT money is, like,
and what IT dimag is,
that's a different story. But anyways, a doctor is always above IT.
Doctor, engineer.
And
I love how nurses are actually looked down in. You know that, right? It's looked down on. And to think how much nurses earn, I mean, security mama, like, move on, mate, move on.
It's not even it. Like, engineers are looked up on. Architect, when they're like, cute this stuff. They need their approval to do what they're doing, right? Like, but no. The list goes on. The list goes on.
Definitely.
Honestly.
All right. Okay. The next one. Children must listen to their parents all the time. I think sometimes parents should listen to their children. Yes, please. And this is coming from a mother as well, eh? This is coming from a mother. Children, and then menopausal women, and then dementia. They have no filter on. They say it as it is. And sometimes you need that honesty to reflect on things that you're doing. I really, really believe that. You know how children have no filters? They, like, people who have no filters, I actually appreciate the honesty for people who have no filters. I mean, you can tell people who actually meant to be rude and are rude, and versus people who are honest but also mean good in their heart.
Yeah.
So I'm very much up for children teaching us. And have you seen children these days? They know so much.
Don't even get me started. Osti Bokra, I was at my brother's place, literally just went to say hello to him, and he's got triplets, okay? They were making PowerPoints with animation at the age of literally 9. I mean, the PowerPoint animation, the tech is so forward that I might have to ask them how they made that, okay? Like, it's the situation I say, okay? I mean, I probably look like, what the fuck, auntie doesn't know anything. I know. That I have to accept defeat.
Yeah.
You know, like, the defeat on the... I could not do what they did at that age.
Exactly.
So, animated PowerPoint, like, the confetti comes like this, comes like that. And I'm just like, I can't win this, kids. Like, defeat on the data. Take the L and move on.
Exactly. There are especially older ones, they can't take the defeat.
Yeah.
They would rather put you down with some other facts than agree that you are actually better than me in this.
It's so toxic.
Second last one. Come on, Mary, go.
No matter what, children are not allowed to say that any parent is doing wrong. I mean, we were just literally said.
Half of the episodes of this podcast are about us roasting our parents.
Yeah, literally.
And I think we are very much into this. Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you're always right.
Yeah.
Because you are a parent for the first time, with the first child. Right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to learn, you're going to have to grow as much. And life, as you go on, there's so much personal growth to do. There's so much, you were always constantly changing, learning. And something that was so much valuable to you back in the days may not mean so much to you now. So, you know, keep up, basically. Keep up. If you are so happy about new iPhones coming out, new laptops coming out, then you would be like in there. But when it comes to values, when it comes to change in cultural stuff,
or even your kids teaching you things from the school.
Yeah, exactly. Just show the same curiosity, you know. Last one. We're finally doing this. I think this probably means forbidden to speak up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this Didi has probably faced a lot of situations where she tried to rebel voice her opinions. Actually, let me give you a little context about this Didi. This Didi is from the same toll as me. And I actually respect her quite a lot because growing up, she did a few things that you wouldn't consider normal in the society back then, right? And she did all that, and she did it very courageously. And I have had some people, you know, talk about her in the community and saying, oh, she shouldn't have done that. But I saw nothing wrong with what she did.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, well done. Well done, Didi. But I think she still has always been an inspiration. She's always, how do I say this? She's always, her values have been very much in line with my values. And I very much agree with what she did back then. And I actually applaud her for doing it. And in that age where nobody dared to even do that, she did. I'm not going to share what she did, but it's just something that the society...
It's just not very normal at that age.
Yeah, normal. And it would have taken a lot of courage to go against a society and go against the norm of our society to do what she did. And I'm glad she did it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you have someone to look up to do that, right? And I hope we will eventually be one of those people for our younger listeners out there. I mean, I'm a young listener. I'm mostly born and bred in the UK, I think.
Yeah.
So they are just understanding the different sides of the world we lived in, like how life was in Nepal and how is it now. It's just chaotic. Hopefully they understand our parents a bit better because they never really got to see the life in Nepal.
Yeah.
To understand where their parents actually came from, because it's a foreign thing to them, neither.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking your mind is still a struggle. I mean, I try my best, but even then, it is a struggle. You get called whatnot names. You get called like you have this label. Okay, like challenge mate गर्न खोज्छ त्यो केटी हेर्न she's always like आयो feminist त्यो केटी हेर्न like
10 minutes ago you heard my mom एले जहिले पनि मलाई टोक्न आउँछ like
everything we say is just negatively put and I share a lot of things like in justification of women, in justification of things like that in my Instagram. And there has been like a couple of men from my family and whatnot that have just said
what's wrong with her, what's got into her,
what's got into her. And when I said, basically I said, why are we glorifying, I mean 2 podcasts ago, why are we glorifying men for having pads in, one of my cousins, dear cousin, I think he's listened to the podcast, and he said to me like, pad man bana movie here, I think you missed the point, okay? Like, not all men are like that, okay? But
we know that. It's an obvious statement. We know that.
But my point wasn't I hate men, though. My point was, why are we as a society glorifying men? So and then he was like, toilet point miss watch the movie again. And why should I? He's like, it's not the men, it's the society that's fucked up. And I was like, yeah, I'm on the same page as you. So why are you taking that as an offense to your gender?
Exactly.
I never said men are trash. I only said the society we live in is trash. I only said the fact that we as a society are glorifying men. And if you had listened to the whole podcast, we said we don't let men do things either because we are like, we'd rather get it done ourselves.
Exactly.
So there's a snippet comment and I was just laughing. And when I said, when I just came back and he was just like, good night. So that to me is just like,
you've left the conversation.
I can't even express what I feel at this point, you know?
And also there's, you know, the whole thing of feminist being automatically labeled as men haters is so wrong. Like, know the difference between feminist and a feminazi. I'm a feminist and I have suffered because of my gender. So I would be very much happy to stand up and speak up for anybody who's being discriminated against, because I know what discrimination feels like. And whether that's a man being discriminated, LGBTQ community being discriminated, a young person being
just
discriminated.
Any discrimination in general.
Exactly.
That's what we stand for. You call yourself feminist, equal physical attributes, we're not talking about that.
Oh my god. Like,
that boils my head. One of my friends, not gonna lie, he apparently at work told this kid, let's say, he's like, feminist equal. That's not the point. We never said we are stronger than you.
You men also have to give birth. Like, that is not the missing the whole point. Like, this is where people miss the point. It's
like we never said we are physically strong. We never said we want to be as strong as you. We know we are not saying, we are not even like equal pay is hopefully our grandkids will see discrimination like but basic things, how much more do we need to justify that we are having unfair treatment?
The fact that we're having to spell it out for you is explanation enough that you don't get it.
Why, like, okay, let's just carry on with that. Amongst all these traditions we do not want to carry out, filter out the percentages of what women felt. You can't relate because you're not in it. You can't relate because you're a fucking man sat in a brown house on the sofa like this, where your mom, sister, everyone is slaving away, and you're criticizing the food we made. That is the point why you cannot relate. And tell me, why are there feminists out there? You are the reason why there are feminists out there.
And I would never speak about how it's like to be a man in this society.
Exactly.
I am not qualified.
Exactly.
I may be able to relate to some of the discrimination that they have felt, but I cannot entirely speak for them.
Oh, and another thing, I know.
So why do men think they can't speak for women?
Entitled. On yesterday, women
one word.
Entitled.
Finish.
Yesterday, women, let's say, afno barema dhere bhanere, but men cannot express their feelings. Men cannot express. There is no room for men to express. Make us understand then. Like, we are trying our best to make you understand, and you don't understand. Try us. Anna. 2 words. Try us.
I think a lot of men these days talk about how men are being suppressed. Welcome to the club. If you feel that way, welcome to the club. We are expressing our feelings because we've been suppressed for years and years. And to this day, suppression is not so out there, but you feel it. It's more like a sentiment that people carry on subconsciously. And we're trying to have the conversation and join in rather than saying you guys are feminist and putting a very hurtful and hateful connotation to it, come and join the conversation. Let's talk about what you feel. Let's talk about what that's the whole point why Samir bhai, when he wanted to do a podcast about gender equality, he was quite happily, he's like one of our very loyal listeners as well, and he came in and he very politely said, Dee, I would like to do a podcast on gender discrimination because I want to have my say as well, and we happily went along with it. And that's the whole point. We have to come together and understand what the situation is now, rather than pointing fingers at each other.
It's not he said, she said kind of situation. Okay, it's like what we can do to help us better. So I actually request you, like your partners or a spouse or wife, whatever you want to call it, that have conversations like this. I mean, you should have had this before you were even a thing, not gonna lie, but we move, we're Nepali, we're brown, we do things slowly. But like, what can we do to accommodate like men? I mean, we've been doing this entire life, and so there and go try us. And you try to understand. I know you cannot relate because you don't have the same, you'll never face the same things because you have the male privilege that you're born in. You can never relate. You can never relate.
Ani, you can utilize that privilege to do something good.
Exactly.
But instead you choose to do that. And yes, we will not take opinions of women and how women should feel and how women should express from a man who was almost a period.
Exactly.
Fucking
almost a period. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Only when you say Meri Mina kasale bujhदैन, like just stop your mouth right there. Number one. Number two, have you ever asked a woman like what difficulty she's faced in her life? Like just basic discrimination, just being a woman. We don't even have to go to careers yet.
It starts from your own home.
Like, do you do what we do? Like, I get it. If okay, like we are the bread providers, whatever, financial, whatever. Fair enough. You go to work while we sat home looking after the kids. Okay, I know. But how many full-time job wanta? How many breaks wanta? Fair enough. Like, you're like, you're away from a child, whatever. Like, oh, poor thing. Did you change your entire body? Did your body go through all this entire hormonal changes?
Did you sacrifice your career? Did you sacrifice your time? Did you sacrifice your body to do something that you are incapable of doing? Let's not even go there.
It's just only, and then the audacity to say, "Tola lift kona man thayena, you want to be equal, you go lift."
Stop bleed where they have. Like,
what the fuck? Why are you chasing after women to have your child then? Just don't.
Yeah, exactly. We will not be passing all this to our children.
Exactly.
Okay? We will not. This ends with us.
The
especially in our
supremacy just ends.
In our surrounding, this ends with us. And I hope more and more people will, I'm sure more and more people are like being very proactive in ending gender discrimination and anything that happens
discrimination,
around
any ism, like, as I like to call it. Obviously everyone has their own priorities of what ism they want to eradicate, and a lot of it is like, gone, which is true. And that's fair enough, but as long as you're trying to do what you can in the best ability as you can,
that's
done
all
your
we
best. Can pray for.
More than enough. Exactly. And the fact that you guys are sending these values that you hate and will not take forward just says a lot about how much or how many people out there are trying to bring changes. And
that makes us very happy to be living in this world.
And it also confirms that we're talking to the right people.
Audience. Yeah. So on that note, please give our podcast a 5-star if you listen to Spotify, and review us, rate us. If you're living on Google Cast, Apple Podcast, I think that's the one. And YouTube might have someone a thumbs up dinola so we can, make more videos and podcasts like this. Leave us a comment if you want to educate us on something that we are not unsure of in this whole entire podcast, because that's how we learn, right?
Also, quickly, I think we'll be sharing these questions a lot in our stories from now on. So please comment and tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you want, what topic you want us to tackle next.
So
or give our opinion.
That means you would have to follow us on Instagram, which is sinergi.studio.
Subtle promotion of this, yeah.
Just look out for the stories. We randomly put stories, and not often, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we should really. But when we do, we ask questions. So if you want to be part of this questionnaire and polls, then just follow us on Instagram.
Part of the movement.
Exactly. And yeah, do share it to your friends who you think would like. I mean, just share it to the friends. Yeah. But not everyone has a mental capacity to understand. They will just filter out, I guess.
Just push it. Send them our way.
Persevere. That's the word. So yeah, thank you for listening. Have a great one. Bye.